What's going on today, guys? Beautiful Sunday here in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. Just riding through Ranson, West Virginia right now. I had a couple of errands to run this morning, a couple people to stop and see, and thought I'd shoot this quick vlog and share a couple of stories with you. Two stories I want to share. One happened earlier today. One happened just, I don't know, I guess about a week ago. So the one earlier today, I was going out to see, I was going to swing by my uncle's house. He wanted to see the new LED headlights that I put on my Super Adventure. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link this video. That's the kind of like the how to install video. And we'll give it a few seconds, and then we'll link this video, which is what they kind of look like after they were on there and went out and tested them out the other night. So anyway, stopped in to see him. I was only there for about 5 minutes or so. Got back on the road, got about 3/4 of a mile down the road, and my tire pressure monitoring system started flashing, telling me I got a low air pressure in the tire. Which is weird, because right before I left my house, and my uncle only lives maybe like 8 miles away from me, I had just checked my front and rear tire for any sort of punctures or anything on my, my kind of my pre-ride inspection I do. Had just put a pound of pressure in the rear tire. It had been sitting for about a week, and which is typical for it to lose about a pound. No big deal, but I just like to have them right on the money, cold air pressure. So it was my rear, and I looked at the what the readout was on the display, and it was showing I was down 10 pounds. I went from 42 down to 32. And I could tell, it was almost like immediate. I could tell the rear end had started to feel heavy on it, like there was a problem. And then a couple seconds later, the screen started flashing at me. So, fortunately, I wasn't that far from my uncle's place, so I turned around there in somebody's driveway and rode back. And as soon as I popped off the bike, I saw immediately what it was. It was a finishing nail. It had gotten into the right in the middle of the tire. Right in the middle of the tread pattern there. So pulled it out, and fortunately, like I recommend in my book, Motorcyclist Guide to Travel, I had my plug kit on the bike, so we went ahead and plugged it. Now I didn't have to use my little battery powered air compressor, or I say battery powered. You can plug it in the cigarette lighter, or plug it off of the battery on the motorcycle with the alligator clips. Didn't have to use that. Hold on. Since I was at my uncle's house, he had the air compressor already going, because they were getting ready to change motorcycle tires this morning anyway. So got it back. I've been monitoring it since then, and everything seems to be okay. I've got about, 6,100 miles on these tires. I'm planning on a 2,000 plus mile trip next month anyway, so these tires are going to have to come off prior to that trip, so no big deal. But everything's holding well. The plug kit worked great. We used that same plug kit to plug my sister's monster tires until she got those replaced recently. Look for that video soon. But anyway, everything's good. So following my own advice, everything turned out well, and I was not left stranded alongside the road. I was able to get the tire fixed, and it didn't ruin my day riding. So the second story I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Kristen and I went on our first overnight trip of the year down to Beckley, West Virginia, and got to see a lot of cool things. I'll link that video up there if you haven't seen it yet. But we got everything packed up on the bike that morning, took off. Excellent time riding down. Pull into the hotel. We did what I normally do. I booked the hotel at lunch, like I talk about in my book. That's what I do most of the time once I see we're going to make it. Arrived, nice hotel. The girl gave us directions. She got us a room there where I could park my bike right there in front of the window, so I could see my bike from the room. Really appreciated that. We go in, typically we go in, check, see where the room is, carry the helmets, that sort of thing. And I told Kristen, I said, you know what, I'll run back out to the bike, grab the bag liners. I imagine most of you know what bag liners are, but if you don't, they're basically bags that go inside of your hard saddle bag, so you don't have to take the whole hard saddle bag off and bring it into your room. You can just bring the bag liner in, which is kind of like a little soft suitcase. So Kristen obviously gets the bigger of the two bags, the one without the exhaust cut out. So I grabbed her bag, And then I went over and unlocked my saddlebag, and there was nothing inside. I know I packed the bag liner because I'd thrown in a pair of jeans, t-shirt, sneakers, socks, change of underwear, even threw in a long sleeve t-shirt in case it got a little cool when we arrived in Beckley that night. But it was not in my saddlebag. So, had we just been her and I probably just would have washed my underwear and stuff in the sink, and you know, no big deal. But we were planning on meeting my buddy Fred out for dinner, and there was not enough time for me to you know, really wash anything up and dry it. Plus the only pants I had were my riding pants, so I would have looked kind of silly walking into a restaurant that night anyway. No extra shoes, no nothing. So I hopped on my bike and I rode over to Walmart, and it looked like it was about ready to downpour rain. Fortunately, I made it back before it did that. Went over to Walmart, bought a pair of jeans. Did you know you can buy Levi's at Walmart for $19.97? That's a hell of a price. They're actually pretty nice jeans. Bought a $4 t-shirt, which was a wicking material, so that was nice. It was some sort of a Hanes Performance shirt or something. Bought a pack of underwear, and I went ahead and got some extra socks since I was going to need those to ride the next day, and then got back over to the hotel. You probably didn't notice in the video that I looked any different. I just bought a red t-shirt and a pair of jeans. Also bought a $3 pair of Ocean Pacific flip-flops and wore those over. And Fred didn't notice anything. And then I told him, and we had a good laugh about how the guy that wrote the book, or at least wrote a book on motorcycle travel, forgot to pack his own clothing. So we all make mistakes. I had a good laugh about it. Kristen was like, it was a good thing it didn't happen on our big trip. And I said, actually, I don't think it really would have mattered. I probably would have bought the same amount of stuff over at Walmart. It was about a $40 trip to Walmart, but I've actually been using those jeans to work around the house and in the garage and stuff, so pretty good pickup. But I thought you guys would enjoy hearing that story. Even with all the amount of time I spend traveling on a motorcycle, I'm still prone to making stupid mistakes like forgetting my clothing. And just to, you know, kind of cap that story off, we did get home and my bag liner was full of clothing laying there on the edge of the bed. So didn't do me much good there, but still ended up being a great trip. If you guys haven't watched those videos, you know, please check them out. We had a really good time exploring some parts of West Virginia that we had been before, but also some parts we hadn't been. And really, for the first overnight trip of the year, it could not have gone any better. So I'm on my way back to the house. Just got a short ride in this morning. Would like to get back home before all the churches let out and everybody gets back on the road. Plus I got a bunch of stuff that I need to take care of and another video to shoot, and I've got videos to edit, but I am going to try to spend as much time outside as possible today. I've got a carburetor to rebuild for Noah and a few other things to work on. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, I look forward to you being one. I can't wait to read all the snarky comments about how I forgot my clothing on my last motorcycle trip in the comment section below. And as always, I'll talk to you again soon.